Thank you, IJ. Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
I'm Naveen Kaushik from the Placement Department of Meerut Institute of Technology, Meerut. And on behalf of MIT Meerut and on my personal behalf, I extend my hearty welcome to our speaker for today, Mr. VIBHUSHIT Sharma. He is a alumnus of MIT Meerut. He was here during 2014 to 2018, completed his BTech from the CS department. Before BTech, he completed his schooling from Meerut Public School, Meerut. Mr. Vibhushit is a good debater and he has been a captain of his school basketball team. In college also, he represented many times to the different tournaments and different debates and won many times. Mr. Vibhushit was not in the toppers list, but he has something different from the other students. And that was his excellent communication skills. And one more thing, he was very he knew what he has to do and what he cannot do. He was very clear. He was very focused, and he was he got campus placement in his seventh semester. And as I remember, he was selected to two companies, and but joined Collabra after completion of his BTech, and he served in Collabra as a associate account manager for around 15 months and did an excellent job there. After that, he shifted to Adico International as a branch account manager, and currently he's working in the same company. Now, I call Mr. Vibhushit to take the control of this session for next 40 to 45 minutes. Mr. Vibhushit, please carry on.
Hi, so good afternoon. Hi, everybody. Very heartiest evening to all. Thanks, Naveen sir. Thanks, Ayush sir, for a wonderful introduction. That's really appreciable and rather motivating too. So, hi everyone. A pleasant evening to everybody present. Today, I'll take you through the session, a teach back on the 7 habits of highly effective people, quoted by Stephen Covey. But before we get cracking on it, I would suggest you to just hear this out, the statements which are just upcoming, all right? Because this will make an impact in your life. Trust me. Just hear this out. Next few statements, they are just, I really don't have words for that. I'm really short of words for that. You can change your hairstyle. You can change your outfit. You can change your spouse, your resident, your any damn thing that you want to change. But the things that you really want to change is your mindset. Because once you have that paradigm shift in your head, that what you really want to do, that will help you out to make an impact for your life. And trust me, a lot of sayings are there. Here goes one more. Your beliefs becomes your thoughts becomes your words becomes your actions, and finally, your actions becomes your habit. A well quoted by Mahatma Gandhi. We first make our habits, then our habits makes us. So these statements, you think about it, get rocking on it, and trust me, I'll take you this session in next 40 minutes, and this will really make an impactful, this will take you to the zenith and touch down your aspiring goals. So here it goes. So today I'll take you through this session by a book written by Stephen Covey, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, a teach back. So the agenda for today will be, just a second. Yeah. So the agenda for today's session will be, number 1, the 7 habits that we'll be discussing on will be, first, be proactive. Second, begin with the end in mind. Third, put first things first. Fourth, think win-win. We move on to 5th, Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Sixth, my favorite one, that's synergize. And seventh, sharpen the saw. So I'll take you through a session, and post it by the end of this session, we'll be having a Q&A where you can put down your queries or any suggestions or anything that I will really happy to answer back. So as we get tracking on it, I would put it across this way. What do you people think? What actually help us in developing our habits? Anybody like you want to participate in it? Like it's an open forum for everybody. I would request you all to like what do you think? Like how do we develop our habits? So according to me, I think the first one is knowledge that helps you out and keeps you going rather. Then the second one, the skill. You should have that skill. Either that is imbibed, or you got to learn it. Third, we move on to the really important one is the desire. I would request somebody has unmuted himself to go on mute. Apurva Agarwal, I would request you all to please keep yourself on mute. If you have any queries, you can put it down in the chat box. I will be happy to answer them. So here we go. Ayusha, would require help. Any challenge in movement, or it's all good?
Everything's okay. Continue, please.
Yeah, sure. All right. Thanks, sir. So this is what I was really talking about, habits. You know, motivation gets you started, but habits keep you going. Now we'll touch down before this makes your habits. Then we touch down the first habit that we were talking about, being proactive. You got to be proactive because people are around are reactive or maybe active. But if you step down to the yeah, so you got to be proactive. All right, that's the important thing. So before get tracking to these 7 habits, there's a specific way that I like Stephen Covey have told us much things. You know, this is a circle of concern. You know, concerns. We have any work, we have a specific. You know, we can do. If somebody asks us, can you do this? We said, yeah, we can definitely do it, but there's a concern. Okay, can you top the class? Yeah, definitely I can, but there's a concern. We have all concerns in finishing all the tasks, you know, taking it to the closures. We have really, you know, some concerns, but we need to overcome these concerns and walk into the circle of influence, you know, which will help us actually drive to get the work sorted or to make it to a closure. So I think that this circle of concern shouldn't be a part of our lives. We should eradicate this circle of concern and take it to the circle of influence. You know, this Stephen Covey states that if there's a circle of concern, there would definitely be a circle of influence, which you need to figure it out. And if you're able to figure that out, the circle of influence, that will help you drive to a closure. So here we walk on to the first habit, that is being proactive. So this image, you know, I chucked it out from the web, and this lady sitting on the right hand side, all right, she is a reactive lady. How? She's a reactive lady. She's earning $2 for an hour. She cribs about thing. My only income is $2. What should I do? How should I do? What should I think about the inflation of money? How can I do it? She only knows that there's some terminology which is called as inflation, like how to earn that money more. But she is no more bothered. She's just cribbing about things. She is just thinking about the circle of concerns. On the left hand, we have Bob, who is a who is not an reactive or an active person. He's a proactive person. He knows, oh, they suck, but that doesn't help me. How can I improve it? Complain and less efforts. I never need to complain about it. If there are some specific issues, I know there would be some influential part which will help me to drive things. So you think about, like, what can I do? I need to put in some brains and then study something, focus on something, put down my savings in putting forward. If I earn $2, I need to put it across $1 in my savings, push it down the money to the bank, and yes, I can make up my income. This is how a proactive person thinks. You got to think out of the box. How I learned this terminology? I learned it in 8th standard. My principal, they were the assembly going on the session. My principal used to say, you got to be proactive. You guys, you got to be proactive. I was like, what does this proactive means? In 8th standard, I read it, and I found that, yeah, you got to be 2 steps forward. So let me put it this way. You're driving a car, and there's one person walking on the street. Some person really don't think what he can do. But being a proactive person, you think that if in next 3 seconds, he jump in front of your car, you know where's your brake, how you can stop your car right there and save that person's life. You are proactive. So Stephen Covey says that how to judge that you're a proactive person or not. You can judge it if you have mood swings, which is influential by weather, temperature, or any atmospheric change, which is affecting your work. So trust me, you're not a proactive person. You should think out of the box that some influential, some concerns, that things shouldn't affect your productivity. You should think out of the box and you should make that happen. So let's plunge on to the second habit, that is begin with the end in mind. If you're getting cracking with any of the work, you should know its end goal. You should actually know what is required. If I say that Usain Bolt is running a sprint of 100 meters relay, but he really don't know what is the finishing line. Till where will he run? So he got to think about, like, if this is my starting point, this should be my ending point. Okay, we have an activity here. I want a participation from you all on this. Okay, so just think about, just put across your answers in the chat box. All right. After 10 years from today, a newspaper decides that to write a story about you. They interview 4 people about you. These could be your friends, your family. What would you want them to say about you? Quickly, what do you expect? Where do you expect yourself in after 10 years? The chat box is open for all. I would request you all to put it across in the chat box. It's an open forum for all the participants, panelists, everybody. Where do you see yourself that people would be telling that after 10 years, this lady has done miracles? Where do you see yourself? Put it across. How you want that they should talk about you. Please put it across in the chat box. It's an open forum for all. Oh, I got a really appreciable pointer by Himani, head of operations. Appreciable. Yeah, I take that point, Himani. Definitely you will be. Anybody else? No promotion and spamming in chat box, please. All right, somebody is putting down that bit. All right. Anybody who put it across, where do you see yourself 10 years? And IES, Digvijay Singh, sweet, my best wishes are with you, Digvijay. Definitely you'll do it. Just think about, and I'll tell you, just just run after it. If you have a dream, you got to catch hold of it. No, if you'll have obstacles for it, but nobody can stop you. You should be unstoppable. You gotta make that happen. All right, so I'll move on with these 2 pointers, one by Digvijay, another by Mani. All right, so I'll take you across. I was delivering the session earlier in my corporates, and what I found an amazing answer. This is especially for the dog lovers. Here it goes. So there was one lady, Ann Landers, and what she quoted, I want to be the person my dog already thinks I am. Because your dog thinks you are the cosmos best person that they can find. You feed them, you take care of them, you do everything for them, So everybody wants to be a person like that. Everybody. So you should just focus on things and do it. So understand it better, There's an old man standing next to his grave. And what he's thinking, what do I have to say about myself? Because what I'm doing and is not equivalent to what I want to be able to say. Because everybody thinks that this is what I wanted to do, but I really don't know how to do it. So we got to catch up our mind. If we are living right now, and one day we all will be walking to our graves, that is our end goal, But how? If we have that task, so Stephen Covey has quoted up, break your time, maybe 6 months. What's your target? This will get tracking on day 1. 6 months, I'll achieve this. Next 2 years, I'll achieve this. Next 4 years, I'll achieve this. Next 10 years, here I am. So whenever you're starting something, you should have the end goal in your mind. Begin with the end in mind. Now we plunge on to the third pointer, that is put first things first. So it's a really, specific point that we all like. Sometimes I also goof up, and it's like you can say, or is human. So everybody take it that way. What do we think on the left hand side? We'll wake up early and we'll go for running. We'll work out. Yeah, we'll spend time with the family. We'll have a gala time. All right. But what we actually do, we're wasting our time in watching web series. We're wasting our time in some trivial work, which we really don't want to do, but we're doing it. So we got to think out of the box, what's important for us, because these web series, watching web series, or maybe just some gala time, maybe you want to spend it out, So that's important to cheer off your mind. But if you are devoting your hell lot of time for these activities, then you're not doing it right. So you need to prioritize your work. Now, how can you do it? I have made a time management for you all. Here it goes. Time management matrix. So I divided this into 4 quadrants. All right. Important, urgent, important, not urgent. Not important, but it's urgent. Not important, not urgent. All right. So we'll get tracking on it. So here it goes, The urgent work, where we need to figure out what's really urgent. First, I'll tell you what's important and urgent difference, Something which is important, but doesn't have a deadline in a couple of hours, minutes or so. But urgent, you have a deadline for it. You need to prioritize that work before that important work. Is the 2 difference where I quoted. Now we move to the first quadrant, what we should divide the work in. Important and urgent. The crisis, any kind of escalation which is coming in, which needs to be dealt immediately and get resolved and sorted. That should be a first priority. Pressing problems, deadlines-driven projects, meetings, preparation. All the students, you have like sessions lined up. You have the projects, you have the assignments. Those are the deadlines. That should be a first priority. You need to get tracking. All the professionals, maybe the top-notch people who are driving the colleges, maybe the panelists or the TPOs or the directors or principals. We got to take care of all the meetings first, which is the important thing for our business or maybe our daily life. All right. Then we plunge on to the second quadrant. That is not urgent. That is important, but not urgent. We still have time to complete that. So we need to have time, preparations, preventions, value clarifications, planning, relationship building, true reactions, and empowerment, where we have time and we can get this thing sorted. Then we moved on to the third one, all right, which we cannot avoid, interruptions. Some phone calls, we're working on some specific task, we're working on it, but we get a call from the customer. Oh my God, yeah, this was the priority. VIBHUSHIT, can we do it? I think I'm pretty occupied in this. I'm pretty occupied. What to do? I think you are the customer. You have the priority. So I cannot put the customer second. I need to prioritize that work. Let me put it this way: you have a session, or you have a semester tomorrow, all right? But you're thinking about the project that has to be submitted in the final year. No, that's not a priority. Your priority is to the semesters or the sessionals, all right? Some emails, some reports I need to submit on daily basis, some many proximate pressing matters, many popular activities. All right. Now the fourth comes up, which is important, it is important somehow for your brains, not here, but for your brains. Some trivia, you know, which you cannot avoid, but which you have to do for your mental peace. Some busy work, some phone calls, time wasters, escape activities, irrelevant mails, excessive TV. Just a second, we just have some glitch. Yep. So here we go. These are the four quadrants where we're talking about where we can prioritize our work. All right. Then we move on to the next habit, that is think win-win. Trust me, this habit, you'll enjoy it to understand it, but it's really important. It's really important. Trust me. In today's era, what actually I used to think, the first ladder is where you are. We are dependent. We are dependent on each other, But when you ladder up, it's independence. But we think that independence, independence is like we are sorted. We don't need anybody. But when we are on a stage of independence, we don't get laurels. We don't get profit that we actually acquire. But when we move on to interdependence, you win, I win. We make that big profits. All right. So I'll explain you, seek win-win relationships and opportunities and work on win-win agreements. So I have a quick explanation for you all with, a story which we heard later back in our early days of a tortoise and a rabbit. So here it goes, which will help you to understand the win-win situation. So you people heard that, that was actually win-win situation. What I was actually talking about. We heard the first one in our later back days, but this is the new era. We were to work win-win situation. I give you 10, you give me 10, we make it to 20. You put in 50, I put in 50, we make it to 100. You win, I win. This is how we are actually working to grow in corporates. But all we got to care, we got to deliver everything out. Sometimes we think working in a team, we think that we shouldn't tell this point because there's a specific that highlights me. But that's not a good thing. We got to tell everything Because if you tell, they'll tell you, and end of the day, you'll both fall into profits. So I have one more instance which quotes think win-win. Just let me put it this way. On the right hand side, in front of the desk, a huge heap of books written by me. I'm an author. On the left hand side, you're an author having your set of books written by you. If I tweet it this way, I don't like this book, a book that I'm reading of yours. Tomorrow my readers or maybe your readers will think about, will read my article or my tweet which says you don't have a good book. So your customers will be walking up to me. And I may increase my customers, but tomorrow if you do the same to me, all right, my customers will be walking up to you. Will be no losses or maybe no gains. We'll be at the same forum of 50 customers you are having, 50 customers I am having. But if I say, I give a good quote for you, oh my God, that author likes lovely books. So my readers will read my books plus your books, and you do the same. So these 50 people will come across me, these 50 people will walk across you. So our 50-50 customers, we'll make it to 100 customers. So this is how we make win-win situation for both of us. I hope that point's clear. Then I was talking about, the dependence, the independence, and the final is interdependence. Now we have walked up the ladder of independence. Now we are touching down the interdependence. So here it goes, which is now fifth pointer, which is seek first to understand, then to be understood. We got to care about someone else first, then we should think about ourselves. So here it goes. There's a quick statements which will help you out to understand. We do not really listen to each other, at least not all the time. Instead of true dialogue, we carry on two parallel monologues. I talk, my companion talks, but what we are really concentrating on is how to sound good, how to make our point strongly, how to outshine the person with whom we are talking. So in the communication, we only care about the pointers. When will our chance to come? When will I'll get a chance to speak? We never understand what some other person is trying to make us understand. And when we are able to understand what someone else is saying, our point, the person in front of us will automatically understand what we are trying to say. We never need to. First, we have to understand someone else, then expect them to understand on our end. So there's one more quote. I used to take notes early in the conversation so that I would not forget my point of view or forget to raise an issue. I was still not listening. Even though I was nodding along, now I have learned that I do not want to remember my point of view. If it's worth anything, it will survive my listening to the other person. So this was the quick statement from, by Stephen Covey. So we got to take care about all things, and then we can conquer the fifth habit. Then we plunge on to the sixth habit, my favorite one, that is synergize. As the term states, it's a mixture of the fourth and the fifth habit. Think win-win and seek first to understand, then to be understood. So here it goes. To understand better, if you remember in the beginning of the session, I used this terminology, paradigm shift. So here's an example of paradigm shift. What do you people see in this image? Your chat box are open. I would request you all to put it across in the chat box. What do you see in these images? It's an open forum for all. What do you see in this image? Old man, Aditya Sinha said an old man and an old woman. That's absolutely correct, Aditya. Digvijay is saying first two old man and woman. All right, that's sweet. Two people enjoying the music by Aditya Sinha. Come on, participants, what else do you see? I see a lot of things in it. Come on. The chat box are open. Just deep dive into the picture. Put your thinking caps on and just get cracking. Sahil Mishra has quoted two old man and a woman. All right. More. I can see a couple of more things which are still yet to be quoted. Old man playing guitar. Yeah, Digvijay, you're right. Old man playing guitar. Absolutely. Then it's Shivani, a man with guitar and in person enjoying music. Sweet. Karbagya is saying musicians. Yeah. Mr. Naveen Kaushik has quoted musicians. Yeah. We can see that. An old man with a whole picture. Amazing, amazing participation. Thanks, panelists and the participants. Himani, thanks for your inputs. Two young men, yeah, absolutely. Two young men are there, and the old person and people enjoying music. That's amazing answers. I've got it. So here it goes. One old lady on the door, absolutely about to say that. Digvijay, thanks for helping me out. 5 persons. All right, that's sweet. Yeah, absolutely correct. The 5 persons. So amazing. Thanks for your participation, people. I'll help you to more to understand. Here we have old man and old women. Underneath, if you figure out this portion, I'll use the help of just a second. Yeah, I use the markers out here, which will help you to understand. If you focus on this is the old lady and the old man. Then we move on to this person. Then we move on to this person who is enjoying the music. All right. This person is playing the guitar. This lady who's peeping out of the door. And if you missed out this, it can work either as an earring of the lady or a bottle, a glass bottle, Then some of these staircases out here, a ladder out here. So you can see there's huge sort of that we have. See, now what I was talking about, let me put it this way. I have 5 people in my team. 5 people telling me these different solutions. But individually, I talk about only these old men and women. I don't have the complete solutions to it. So perception 1, perception 2, 3, 4, 5 makes up 2 and 1 answer. That is the complete solution. The complete solution, So this is what helps us out to understand this better. We work together and we understand. So there's one more amazing game for you all, and here it goes after this. Synergize actually states, problem or opportunity, working the habits 4, 5, and 6 together, working together, making to an end, and forming a solution. Synergy, the result, the third alternative. This will help you out. Definitely work over it. Take all the perceptions and get cracking on it. So there's one more amazing activity for you all. Hit your chat box immediately, and here it goes. What do you people see? What do you people see in this image? It's really amazing. Think again. Put your thinking caps on and think about it. What do you see in this image? Come on, Digvijay, Abhishek Chauhan, Himani. Oh my God, we have an upcoming answer from Tanya Donga. That's sweet, fly and tie. Yeah, I think Tanya is having a hands on it, All right, that's sweet. People, can you understand that fly and tie? Can you read that out? Yeah, alphabets. What people said when I asked people, the mechanical people said these are some kind of gauges, or which can be used in brakes and all that stuff. If I used to talk about with the people from science, biology, he used to say these are the receptors, which can be like with joints, with joint adjacent like that, But I'll tell you what actually it is. It is forming fly and tie. How it's forming, Sweet Aditya, I take your point. So here I'll explain you. All right, just help making use of the marker again. I'm highlighting the white portion. I need a black marker. Yep, and here it goes. See, if you can understand now, quickly hit the chat box. Fly and tie. Quickly, everybody. Just a yes from your end. Yeah, will work for me. Fly and similarly tie. quickly hit your chat box. I hope you people can now relate, you know. I would request you, anybody who's unmuted himself, to go on mute. Thank you. And yeah, can everybody understand now? Yeah. Yeah, I have been coming. I'm going quick. Sahil, see, I can see it fly. See, FLY. Right? Yeah. There we go. Fly and tie. You know, so this is what we actually think about the perceptions, you know. So this what actually synergize helps us to understand the things better. You know, if I have perception, you know, maybe I'm unable to judge this up, but somebody in my team will help me out. So we're going to think about out of the box. Think win-win. Understand someone else first, then expect to be understood. You know, so this is what makes synergize. Then we plunge on to the seventh. Now, what's the like importance of this? You know, in the initial stage, when you implement this synergize amongst your team, amongst your teammates, you know, you need to tolerate first. At one shot, we cannot let people like put in their inputs. We don't accept that easily. You know, it's a human thing. We don't accept the changes so easily. Once we got to tolerate, and if we're able to tolerate, we move up the ladder to accept things. We start accepting the things. You know, how we can actually do it. You know, we start accepting the things. After accepting things, we move up the ladder. That is value. We value the inputs. We value the perspective, the perceptions of our teammates. And finally, getting all together, we move up the ladder to celebrate. Then we conquer. When we finally implement the synergize, you know, when we synergize and use that habit. So this is how it works. Now the final, last but not the least, we move up to sharpen the saw. As it says, sharpen the saw, you know. So here comes a huge tree with a huge trunk. A man in front of him with a saw in his hand trying to cut this. What do you think? Can he do it? People, so there's a short story in this, you know. A man was standing right there and a man was crossing behind him, said, "Hey buddy, listen to me. I think if you need to cut down this tree, you got to sharpen your saw." But the man, what the man replies? He replies, "No, I'm not going to waste my 15-20 minutes in sharpening the saw and getting the thing sorted." You know, so we don't pour in time in understanding what's more important, you know, because the fine lining on the edges, and you can say it icing on the cake or the cherry on the cake, which is really important, you know, but we skip that just to get the work sorted or clearing up easily. All right. So we got to implement that. So how to understand more better? We move the next the next slide, that is sharpen the saw. You know, what actually treats physical. You got to be physically strong, mentally strong, spiritually, socially, and emotionally. So I would suggest you how you should be physically strong. First pointer, live as though you just had a heart attack. You should be so strong that you just had a heart attack 5 minutes back, but you're physically so strong that you can fight any damn thing in the world. You're so physically strong. Then if we move the next pointer, that is reinvent yourself every 4 years. As I quoted earlier, you know, give your span 6 months, year, 2 years, 4 years, break it down. Give your mental peace, a stability and a line that this has to be done, this needs to be done, and we need to get cracking anyhow. Spiritually, think about any person, any soul, any eternal power that you believe in. Live as though you will meet your maker in 90 days. Think about, be so spiritual that have that trust, and in 90 days, you got to meet that person. Get over it. And finally, socially and emotionally, talk about others as though they were always right with you. There's no separation. You're always connected with everybody. Be so connected with all. Be so social that you get all the laurels, all the benefits. You win, win, and always win. There's nothing falling back. This is how we were talking about sharpen the saw. Then we move on to the last slide, you know. I wanted to place it here because I'm a national player, right? And basketball is in my blood. So I wanted to quote this, you know, because this is my key motivating quote, which always keeps me roaring and moving forward. I have missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I have lost almost 300 games. 26 times I have been trusted to take the game-winning shots and missed. I failed over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeeded. Michael Jordan, nobody has ever been like him now, till now. This person is really amazing. I would suggest you to just read a bio of this person. It really keeps you motivating. It will actually work as a catalyst for you all. I think that's an ending to my session. So now it's an open forum for you all to put in across a Q&A session that will work for me and for you too. Any queries where I can put it, I'll be happy to answer it right away. All right, for you all, or if you need to talk to me personally, I'll share my mail ID and my contact number. You can definitely reach me out specifically. But if there's any query you need to talk about the session or any suggestions you require, you can put it across in the chat box. If I'll definitely help you out. You can start hitting your chat box. It's right in front of me. I would happy to answer them. It's an open forum for the panelists also, the top-notch from MIT, the directors or the teachers or principals, everybody can put it across. I'll be happy to answer them, because I think this was a really a key like a motivational session. I would suggest you all to read this, go through this book definitely, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. You must go through it. It's a really, really amazing book. You must go through it. Come on, people, it's an open forum for you all. You can put it across. Sure, Tanya, thanks for your input. Anybody else, you have any queries on the session regarding this presentation, So please synergize again. All right, I'll go to this synergize again for you, Sahil. That's not a problem. Anybody else who want to highlight? If you have questions, you can post it here in the chat box. Yeah, thanks, Ayush. That will help me out. I think Sahil needs to synergize once again. I'll help him out on that. I think it's all good to go. I am not receiving any input, so I expect that it's good to go for all. So people who wanna I got an input from Ananya. How do you distinguish between the time you tolerate and start accepting? All right, I'll answer that, Ananya. Surely, Mark. Yep. Thanks, Vijay. Thanks, Vijay. So, let me put it across for Ananya first. Like, how do you distinguish between the time you tolerate and start accepting? Right, it's a really tricky question to mark to be answered on this platform, Ananya. So if I put it across in my words, how to distinguish between the time you tolerate, that actually depends on an individual, So if everybody has, some, you can say a level up or a surrounding water level, where you just get absorbing the work, that actually a tantrum that we talk about that might not get hurt, of a level of scale which every individual have, And about me, I would like would like to put it across in this session. We can touch down personally. I would love to answer you on that personal level. Let me keep it this way. All right. Then answering the query for I forgot that name. Somebody asked me for synergize. Sahil, right? Sahil, I'll put it across for you. For moving to synergize, and then I hope it works for you. Yeah. So, Sahil, we were talking about synergize. Thanks, Ananya. Synergize, so here we put down, this habit 4 and 5, just look at this. Think win-win. When you're able to think, they say, as I quoted a couple of examples, the story of tortoise and this, at the beginning, something that a person cannot do, something an individual cannot do. But if you work together, all right, you make that win-win situation happen. Point 1. Let us put across A. All right. Let's put this across A1. All right. Then moving to seek first to understand, then to be understood. So you need to imbibe these 2 pointers in your life, these 2 habits in your life, you know. You need to hear that person now, what the person is saying actually, all right? Then moving across to put it what you want someone to understand, you know. So just moving that pointer A1 and A2 makes it to the pointer synergize, that is A. All right. So when you implement this, the sort of total collation of these, the blend of these 2 habits will help you out to make the best use of things, you know, the best thing that you can use. Because see, if I take in the instance of this, you know, this, we weren't able to judge it. If Tana Tong wouldn't have placed this statement, you know, that she was able to fly and die, I was unable to put it across, then how would I understand? So we have input 1, we have input 2, then we're able to close that. All right. Synergize helps you out to give the best and the best to actually churn out the best from the scenarios and to hit that best shot ever. I hope that works for you, Sahir. Yeah, sweet. All right, so I think that's in calling for the session. And yeah, anything else that you want me to highlight? I'll just ping my mail IDs to you, or my contact numbers where you can reach out to me regarding any queries, or maybe some further more sessions if you require some motivational or anything. All right, so here it goes. My mail ID and my contact number. So it's an open forum for you all. You can reach out to me on XYZ. I'm available on LinkedIn. You can definitely reach me out by VIBHUSHIT Sharma. You can reach me out on LinkedIn too. VIBHUSHIT Kumar Sharma, that's my full name on LinkedIn. All right. Reach me out, or maybe any social forum, you can reach me out. Maybe Facebook, Instagram, or anything. I'm available by VIBHUSHIT Sharma. Naveen sir, and I used to like request you to take it up if anything inputs required from my end. Thanks, Dr. Pradeep Kumar. Thanks for inputs. I would love the appreciation given by you. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Vibhushit, for the nice session. It was really
Thank you
excellent session.
for enlightening session. Now I would like to call upon Mr. Raj Gautam sir to give a vote of thanks to the speaker.
Good evening, Vibhushit. It was an outstanding session. Being a writer and an avid reader myself, I have never liked self-help books. You know, I'll be very frank with you. I am not into the genre of self-help books or motivational books. But this presentation of yours was a breath of fresh air, and it kind of made me compelled to, you know, go and buy this book as recommended by you and read it. So this speaks wonder about your presentation skills. We are highly thankful that at such a young age you are so full of energy, life, and motivation, and so giving as well, that you have been kind enough to share your journey with the students, your juniors, and the faculty members. So we thank you from the bottom of our heart. We wish you all the very best for your future, and we hope to see a self-help book, a motivational book from you, written by you, very soon in future.
Definitely, I need your blessings for that. Definitely, but hopefully one day I'll do that. That is on my runway list. Trust me, down the line, 10 years, I have that. thanks for your best.
Believe me, I'll be the first person to get a signed book from you when it comes to the day. So thank you for taking time out on a Sunday for us. Again, I'll thank you on the behalf of all the students and the faculty member. Wish you all the best and keep doing wonders that you are doing. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you, Vibhushit. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Thank you, Naveen, sir. Thanks for Ayush, sir, especially for